You've got to look very carefully at people's motives, and you've got to look very carefully at the facts. You've got the most famous person in the world, one of the wealthiest people in the world, perceived as very vulnerable, okay? And people constantly tried to exploit him throughout his life.
Oh my God, can't believe what I saw as I turned on the TV. This evening, I was disgusted by all the injustice.
Hey everybody, this here is Volume 5 of Let the Truth Be Told. Now I have some things that I want to discuss with you guys, so grab your snacks and let's get to it. Starting with Goonies star Corey Feldman. Now I received this one question from several fans asking why did Corey flip on Michael? Now I can give one simple answer, and that answer is opportunity. Yes, I said opportunity. Now the reason why I say this is because Corey sees the chance to bring awareness to his cause that he currently is working on into the mix. Not because he wanted to support or diss Michael, not that he supported Wade or James or Leaving Neverland. This was free advertisement for his cause, as you will see in this next clip.
Michael was my friend, but that does not mean I condone any harmful behavior, physical or mental. This is new information to me. It takes me time to absorb and process. And we want to welcome now actor Corey Feldman. Thanks for being with us. Let's pick up with that last line. Absorbing, processing. Where are you with all this?
Well, as I mentioned in my statement, it is obviously a very emotional time for me, and this is a very emotional process for any survivor of abuse, anybody that's been through these things, to, first of all, I ask people to put themselves in my shoes. You know, you're a kid who has endured sexual abuse, and during those times, I'm looking to somebody like Michael Jackson as a friend, as a big brother figure, and he was that person to me. However, as you're friends with this guy, all of a sudden you start to hear more and more accusations being thrown around by various people, and it comes to a point where, as an advocate for victims, as an advocate for changing the statutes of limitations to make sure that victims' voices are heard, it becomes impossible for me to stay virtuous and not at least consider what's being said and not listen to what the victims are saying. This is very important. We must give them their voice. We must allow them to speak. And therefore, we also must consider all sides of this, even as uncomfortable as that may be.
Corey had his chance to bring awareness to sex abuse survivors in 2017 with his own produced film, A Tale of Two Coreys, where he was supposed to discuss the sexual abuse that he and fellow actor Corey Haim had faced, where he also said he would name names of different Hollywood execs who abused him and Corey Haim, but have yet to produce or release any. So in my eyes, Corey Feldman is just as bad as any predator, being that he himself has yet to name any of his abusers publicly, but wanted to ride the Leaving Neverland train against Michael in free promotion for his cause.
Children show me in their playful smiles the divine in everyone. These children are a reminder of the preciousness of all life, especially young lives untouched by hatred, prejudice, and greed.
How do you feel about Wade Robson then?
Wade Robson is lying through his teeth, and he know it. And anybody can say it that know it, know Michael. Wade knows better. Wade just wants money. He knows better. He's from Australia, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he knows he's lying.
You're comfortable with him being around your children all the time, despite those rumors?
He's their father.
But you don't have any
fears
fears
not a pedophile.
that he would do anything to any of them?
Absolutely not. Not to his children or to anyone else's children.
Okay.
Except help them.
To Alfonso Ribeiro instead, who was in that Pepsi commercial with Michael when he was a kid.
I hung out with Michael when I was young, and I did not have sexual relations with Michael when I was young.
There you go, Alfonso Ribeiro, not molested by Michael Jackson.
You were his friend, you were with him a lot, and you know all the controversy that followed him. What was it like watching your friend go through that?
You know, it was, you know, it was horrible, you know what I mean? Because, you know this guy is great. You know he's got a heart of gold. And, You know that he wouldn't do any of those things that people were talking about. Later on, of course, after he died, a few of those people came forward and said, it never happened, we didn't do anything, we was pressured by parents, by this or that, and when they needed money real bad, and they figured that was the way to get at them.
Lisa Marie says she never saw any inappropriate behavior.
If I had seen anything, believe me, his ass would have been hanging from a tree.
What happened at the house? That's what all these things
It's,
are people
that's what's so weird,
What did happen?
Nothing happened, I mean, nothing, really. I mean, we played video games, we played it at his amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing, is that, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories.
I think at the end of the day, we were friends. In the most simple
and he was a child
kind of,
in many ways, too. He didn't...
But also, we were just, It's like one of my friendships that people question only because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world. I'm friends, we're friendly, you know what I mean? And then people wouldn't question that because we're friends.
Because we're in the same age.
You don't have to explain that also. You don't have to explain your friendships to people.
Certainly when I made the documentary, there was a small part of that which contained a controversy concerning his relationship with other young people. But the truth is that he was never convicted of any crime. I never saw any wrongdoing myself. And whilst his lifestyle may have been a bit unorthodox, I don't believe it was criminal. And I think the world has now lost the greatest entertainer it's probably ever known.
When you'd have sleepovers and you'd stay in the same room or the same bed, did that seem unusual to you at all?
No, because I slept on one side of the bed, he slept on the other, and that was that.
Now, with all the clips I've shown declaring the innocence of Michael Jackson, I'm going to talk about a select few. Starting with news journalist Martin Bashir. I've mentioned him in Volume 2, but he comes into play again being that he was one of the people to spend ample time around Michael from May 2002 to January 2003 for the filming of Slendermentary film Living with Michael Jackson. Martin Bashir knew in 2003 that he had lit the torch against Michael with defamatory commentary during the filming of Living with Michael Jackson. He knew it was wrong then but said nothing, and he waited until 2009 to saying that he saw no wrongdoing on Michael's behalf, but the damage was already done, being that he helped tarnish Michael's image. Next up from the clips I've shown is Brett Barnes. In 1993, Brett would interview with CNN about the allegations then against Michael, and he said then that nothing had happened. Even now in 2019, he tweets still in support of Michael, stating that nothing has happened. Moving on to Macaulay Culkin, who has been publicly bombarded since he and Michael came into contact. He would do countless interviews professing he was not molested by Michael throughout his entire career in Hollywood. He also testified and swore under oath that nothing ever happened. No matter how many times both Brett Barnes and Macaulay Culkin would speak out against these nasty claims, their stories of the truth would always be ignored. Ignored to the point both Brett and Macaulay would be named in the bold-faced lie of a film entitled Leaving Neverland. This would be done to fit the narrative Dan Reed painted to make Wade and James appear to be telling the truth, despite these lies on Michael Jackson, Brett Barnes, and Macaulay Culkin are known facts to be untrue. Despite there are many inconsistencies in the stories against Michael, the big media would ignore the truth. Brett and Macaulay's truth of an innocent friendship gets ignored, while the lies of Wade and James is believed as if everything those two is saying is the gospel. Let's not forget, Wade and James lied, saying they were kept apart as kids by Michael and never met until adulthood, when they actually have met on the set of Michael's short film for the video Jam. All I have to say is, lies run sprints, but the truth runs marathons.